Avy Kaufman. I um, I started casting in advertising um, over 20 years ago, and um, that was back in the day. That was when I don't really know how advertising agencies work now with casting directors. I don't know if it's freelance or if they have people in-house, but I was in-house and it was a worldwide agency. And I realized back in those days that the thing that excited me more than anything is when I would see like the advertising we were doing in France and other places. They seemed more exciting than the things we were doing in the States, like Clairol and coloring your hair and things like that. Um, and I became frustrated, so I left and started knocking on every door to start casting films, which I thought would keep my interest excited. Um, and people felt like I was overqualified. I would take these meetings and they would say, well, you've already been an advertising head of a department for 5 years, so I think you're overqualified. So I really took years. I started from scratch again and I started doing extras, which is very hard casting to do, very hard casting. And I was asked to go to do a movie upstate New York to do extras. And John Sayles came to visit. He's a filmmaker in the States. He came to visit a costume designer, and they asked me to start working with them, the John Sayles sort of crew, to do location casting. So I did location casting for about 3 years, and then happened to meet a producer who introduced me to Jodie Foster on her first movie, Little Man Tate. And that was the first film I've done by myself. So I never worked for another casting director, which I wish I had, but I just think my experience just, went in a different direction. I'm always a little surprised when some people call
Yeah.
and they're not clear whether they're hiring us or not. And I can't tell if they're trying to get ideas or if I could just say, well, I have a body of work, look at the body of work and call me if you think we can get along personally. But things are tricky. And sometimes I don't know if they're actually offering me a job or asking me for ideas. So it's very important for all of us to be clear with people, because I think we can be put in uncomfortable positions. Someone asked me about an actress yesterday, and I was thinking about the actress, and I was thinking about a recent film that she had done that I could talk to the director about. But I had cast her in a movie 20 years ago, and I kept thinking, I prefer that movie. Um, you know, I loved everything around the ice storm. I loved working with Ang Lee for the first time. I loved the script. I loved the cast. I loved the story. And I was, lucky enough to work on Lincoln. I mean, there's certain films that I've been extremely lucky to work on. It's, I mean, one thing that I miss more than anything is working without my staff, and we're not back in the offices yet in America. It's, we're just trying to figure it out. I mean, I've been lucky enough to work through the pandemic, but on shows that they don't know exactly when they're going, they're saying that they're going to go the beginning of the year. But I know it's been tough for a lot of actors. When I ask actors to put themselves on tape in the beginning of the pandemic, it was like, who am I going to read with? And things were tricky. Things were tricky. I think they're still tricky. I think we're all trying to find our way. Throughout my career, I'm always drawn to European films. And I've been lucky enough, even now, I got a call earlier in the week about someone that wants to shoot in another country, and could I talk to him about could I help him with casting? And I was so delighted to know who I was talking about, and that being part of our network is just, I think it's wonderful. I think it's wonderful what we're doing. I hope we'll see each other in Berlin. I don't know when. It's been incredibly helpful for me, and I've loved just having these relationships. So thank you.